Welcome back to another episode of DevTalks, where we talk about everything engineering and technology. We're back with it another week, and I'm still excited as I was excited when I first started this. Today is really a milestone episode because this is the 10th episode. I've been doing this for 10 weeks straight. I've been getting them out on time. I've been producing everything, trying to edit the best I can, try different stuff, try to get out there, talk to people about different things, and I'm still going with it. I still have ideas coming out and all of that. So I'm so excited, like so excited to keep doing this and keep on going and see how much more this grows. Right now, I just want to continue asking you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and all of that, and share, and just keep on listening and keep coming along in the journey with me as I prepare to try to make this all grow and stuff. I'm very appreciative, but yeah, like I'm really excited to just keep going on with this. This episode have an interview with one of my friends who I interviewed before a few weeks back about pressure and of college and in the engineering field and things like that. My friend Brennan and things. So me and him are gonna go over what it was like going from intern to full-time engineer, software engineers, and we're gonna have that full chat. So sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. Hope you guys can learn something, take something from it. If you have similar situations, feel free to comment and all of that. And let's dive in. And we're back again. And as I said, once again, I'm bringing back one of my previous guests, which is one of my close friends, Brennan. So go on and say hello. Well,
Hey everyone, I'm Brennan.
yeah, so Brennan was on the podcast a few episodes back about we were talking about the pressure of engineering and like as far as school and all of that stuff with Cameron and things.
Mm,
So now Brennan's back for another important topic. So way in the beginning when I first started this podcast, I talked about how to intern and going through the process of interning and stuff. And recently, Brennan has also started a full-time position, like me, with the same company that he interned with. So we're basically gonna go through the transitions, the processes, and kind of compare the two and that kind of fun. So hope you guys are all ready for that. So really what I really don't know where I want to start, but I'm guessing we start off with how how does it feel to be a full-time engineer?
okay, how does it feel to be a first full-time engineer?
Yes.
Honestly, it feels weird. I mean,
Mm,
cause okay, not okay, maybe weird one. It's maybe the word is like surreal. Just because most of my this is like the first like real like job I've had. I mean, like everything else. I mean, has this been like really simple stuff? I mean, I worked at Walmart, whatever. Um, I TA'd, I did research and stuff like that in like UD, and those were salaried as well. But it's not the same. It's not the same environment as like working in industry. It's a lot more professional. A lot more like just regular procedures to go through. So yeah, I don't know. It's exciting though because like you get to work with a lot of experienced people. Like you get to see like how these like corporations actually like set up their systems. These like long running systems. You get to learn ins and outs. It's really eye opening, but it can be a bit like whoa in the beginning. If that makes sense.
yeah, I can definitely understand that feeling, especially I had some time off before I started, and I started probably like a month before you with
Mm.
the company at Zendesk. And as soon as I got back, I got instantly into another project and things, and then that was fun. And dealing with that project, that was great and everything. But then, like, then time goes on, and no, like being an intern, and we're gonna get more into this later, but being an intern and then realizing you're a full time employee, especially a corporate employee and on salary, is very different to say. Like the different feelings and things like that, and you realize how much you really don't know. On top of that, also,
It's kind of
uh,
scary, right? Because I mean,
it's
like getting
yeah,
like dumped into a completely into like a live project that is happening, and now you're like you're not an intern, you're an
yeah,
employee, so you're looking at everybody else on the team, and you're the new guy, and you're like, oh my god, I have to keep up. Oh, da, 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 da. But I mean, they know you're the new guy, but it's just like,
yeah.
oh, that's the imposter syndrome that's like overwhelms you a little bit.
Yeah, definitely still learning a lot. I guess to compare, like at least on my end and stuff,
Hmm.
being an intern and so far starting off as like kind of like not the lowest of engineers and stuff because I was able to intern for like over a year and stuff. So like I'm in a
Hmm.
pretty good standing, but still kind of mid to early on like ranking and stuff. But in the position that I'm in right now, I realize like no matter what, I'm still like comparing to both, I'm still learning so much. Yes, I probably have more responsibility and I'm able to do more stuff now and have like better access to things and all of the sorts. But that's also what comes with it, I guess, being full time and being a part of the thing and having your schedule set kind of and your schedule not being set at the same time. It's very different feeling and stuff. Um
Yeah, you're telling me.
yeah, I don't know about you,
Mm.
but when I started, I didn't know how salary worked out. So I never had a job that had a salary and stuff. It was always like based on the hours you worked and things. And when I interned, they took my hours and I had to put in my hours and that's how I was getting paid and stuff. So when I switched over to salary, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like one of the last days before I have to put in my hours. And I went to go try to put in my hours and I couldn't find it. And like I started asking like my boss and stuff. Probably felt like top 10 dumbest things I've ever asked in my life after. But when your salary, it's just, you just get paid that amount regardless. And that's your hours are there. And you don't have to put them in, it was one of the weirdest feelings ever for me. And having to transition to that. I don't know about you though.
So when I was an intern, I actually functioned the same like the same as like right now. It's like as an employee, like you're just on the salary, like you don't have to put in your hours at
Oh,
all. So when I remember when came in as an intern, I actually like did pretty much the exact same thing, and I felt really stupid, like asking the question, and
yeah.
I think it's funny because I think it has like another like uniquely weird pressure to it because you're like, oh, I get paid regardless, and some people will be like, um, oh, okay, whatever, I don't have to like I just try as much because I'm gonna get paid no matter what, um, and like always for like this amount all the time,
No.
but I for me it was like it made me like um super like a paranoid all the time, like if I was doing enough work, which is
Yeah.
which is a little bit silly because I was an intern, so I mean, there's only
I
so
mean,
much like to be expected, but
I mean, right now and stuff like that. When I switched over to salary and things, that I get what you mean by like, especially now, feeling like you're not doing enough work and things like that.
hmm.
Sometimes, I I definitely get what people mean by like being an engineer, software engineers and stuff can be stressful and it's more mentally taxing and stuff. So I definitely have like my days where they're probably not the best, but it has definitely encouraged, like especially when I looked at some of my more experienced team members and things like that and what trying to evaluate what they're getting done compared to me, it definitely has especially motivated me more recently to try to like be more productive or lay out or structure my days better. So the whole overall experience can become better too.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get in the hang of that, to be honest. Well, I mean, I've only how long has it been? I guess what 3, 4 weeks maybe. I've been working at Capital One. Uh, yeah, something like that. So I'm still like learning. Getting used to what my team is doing, and all that. So and like you have a bit more skin in the game. You've been
Yeah.
with your company for a while. It's like you're able to like keep up with them a bit more. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't like I'm still on my story and it's been like a week.
Yeah. But like you'd be surprised. Like I'm still on the same team and stuff, but like how limited I was in my internship, I seen after like I got the position and stuff. Cause like I'm telling you right now, there's a few things going on and it's all a learning experience right now. And I kind of want to take back to and go back to like the beginning of being an intern and stuff. Cause I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
how did you, or how can you, or what was the approach that you really took to try to get a return offer from them to start off?
Okay, that's interesting. So basically, I mean, so that was kind of like my goal actually, to do because when I got the internship, the thing on my mind was I want to I want to be good enough so that I can actually get some influence on a return offer. Like if not get a return offer, at least like look good enough so I could if I reapply, it looks good or something like that. Because I mean, what was it like one semester left after that. So I mean, and I was like, I all I wanted to do was I didn't want to have to go through interviewing throughout my all of my like last semester on like doing my projects and like doing exams and stuff like that. My brother had to do that, and I was just like, I don't want to do any. I want a fallback plan. I just want to casually apply for other things, but like always have like my like something in the back. So I guess like to actually answer your question, like how like my approach for it, honestly, my approach was just to was just to try and to be as passionate as possible about like what my project was. I mean, my manager was amazing. For first of all, like they she gave us like a lot of different topics in the ML space, which is hilarious. I got to do any of that as an intern, and she was like, okay, like here's a few topics, whichever one interests you, like please like let us know. We'll put you on that. And then talking to like all the interns in my group, because there was like 4 of us on that one team, which is interesting. It was pretty fun. But if you're passionate about it, then you're gonna be able to do the stereotypically like good employee things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like doing, or at least attempting to do good work. I'm an intern. I'm working with ML stuff. Like I'm only so good. But like really like taking a crack at like a lot of things, trying new things. Importantly, asking questions and engaging with your team is like a big one. So you want to do you want to do all of those things, but if you want those things to come by easy, the trick is just to actually give a crap about what you're doing. So
Yeah.
you have to find a way to invest yourself, and if you're not like invested, you should like maybe talk to your manager or something to like do something more geared towards your interests. I mean, obviously there's only going to be so much wiggle room, but I'm sure. But
Yeah.
if you have like that talk with them, like they'll figure something out. Like they're there for you. You know.
Yes. Especially an internship. Like I like how you said that you have to like invest in yourself throughout it, and how I, It's hard to say. I didn't work with too many interns in the software engineer base because one,
Hmm.
like it was remote, and two, I was the only intern on my team. Everybody else was like staff leveled, senior leveled, and
Ugh.
things like that. So, like, I was the only intern doing stuff. I was like kind of by myself. I did talk to other interns and things throughout the companies, but they were out doing different stuff. Um, but besides like investing in yourself, I would say kinda in a way investing in like the company, and I mean that as far as like the community in the company and stuff like that. I met this one guy when I first started,
Mhm.
and he was like, "You want to like get yourself kind of out there, and
Yes.
especially with the different people and different groups around the company and stuff like that. The
Hmm.
more people who know you, who really like you on top of that too, I felt I was able to keep getting return offers because one, I always wanted to learn something. Like I was just like, yo, just like let me put me on anything. Like I just want to learn it. I'm asking and I'm bugging everybody all these questions and stuff like that. I think I was even supposed to have like an interview uh,
Ooh.
for my full time role, and I think it just didn't end up happening because one, there was a lot of busy stuff going on, and like I was working on a project, but I also believed they were trying to hire me back then, but like before my last semester, but I had one more
Yeah.
semester to go, and they kept asking me. I had a good feeling because they kept asking me like, when do I graduate? And they were like, when do I graduate? When do I
Oh,
graduate?
I remember you
When
talking
do you
about
graduate?
that.
Like,
Yeah.
when are you graduating and stuff like that? So like, one, I had a good feeling about that. Two, like I was talking to other interns, I was talking to all these other people. I was really getting to know people. I was going out there, like good chunk of people knew who I was. And when we did social things for like the big team, besides like just the engineering team, like I participated in some stuff. Like I've met a lot of different people. I've talked to them, and that's how I knew like I kind of. This kind of goes into another question that I'm gonna end up later, but that's kind of how I kind of felt like I wanted to be there because of the community and stuff like that. Oh, and of course, like during the last semester, I did apply to like other places, and I was getting interviews kind of because one, I had all that interning experience, so it was a lot easier on there. But it's just that last semester with dealing with how much workload we had to deal with, and I already had a good feeling about where I was going and stuff. As even though like every there are problems for everything, but like I felt it was gonna work out the most. So like invest in yourself, trying to learn the most and stuff. I believe they want somebody who's eager to like dive in and learn more and take up more responsibility. I also was glad to keep getting extended for my intern because part of me didn't feel like I was ready until I finished school and stuff, which is why like I wanted to stay in school and get in that extra semester so that I'm more technically prepared, I guess, and help with my confidence too. But yeah. So my next
Yeah.
thing is, how do you feel? Why do you feel like you chose to stay at Capital One versus like going somewhere else? Like I know you said you wanted a back burner for your school,
Hmm.
just in case for like
Hmm.
school and things like that, and you didn't want to do that. But is there like any other reasons why you like chose like, yeah, I'm sticking here?
Yeah. So I want to talk about my phrasing a little bit because I'll say like I wanted like a backup for sure,
Yeah,
but the thing is, Capital One was like a top pick though. Like it was just more like when I say back, I just mean like more of like it was more guaranteed
yeah,
than
yeah,
like like code applying for somewhere else
yeah,
because it was very nice. What I liked the most was that um the culture was really geared around just doing what you want to learn, like putting you on teams that you actually care about. And they have a lot of options. I mean, Capital One's like huge, it's huge tech company. Like this is what they always say is not just a bank. It's also it's a tech company that does banking. They say that all the
yeah,
time, but it's true. I mean, there's a lot of like cool opportunities. Like you could. like whatever you want to do in like the tech space, they almost certainly have something. Their hands are in like something, and so you can usually find a way to rotate. Good example. When I was interning, there was a software engineer who not on my team, by the way. It was on another team who was interested in getting into the ML space, and then my manager set up time with the other software engineer I was working with and me to like look at my project because mine was the most software engineering ish one of the ML projects. And you know, like it was opportunity like to like show her like what this project's about, like the inner workings, and potentially like get her in the door for like when I like left, because I, you know, like I had to go back to school. But that was really really good to me, and like just the fact that like this culture was like just like really passionate about this, you know, do it, like learning what you want. And I think that's what's important. Like you should explore other options. You know, you should always apply for other things and whatnot. But you know, if you have what's nice about an internship is that you get a first person read on what your culture is like at that company. Yes. And if you like it, then you know, you sink your teeth into it. You know, like don't let it go. If you like it, like go with it. You know, if you want to do something else, you know, a few years down the line, whatever, like fine, go ahead. But like when you're getting out of college and you want a job and you found something that you liked, you know, why not do it until like you know you have you be able to like stand on 2 feet for a while. And if you just keep wanting to stay there, I mean, just do that then, you know. But yeah, that's kind of what my process was. I assume it was similar for you too.
Yeah, I was about to say, I just wanted to thank you for reminding me about the numerous amount of times they asked me, what do I want to work on? What teams do I want to do? What things do I want to do? And stuff like that. And they're like, hey, if you have some interest in this and what they're doing, go talk to them. Go see what they do. Go see if you can sit in a meeting with them and things like that. And then you realize like how many other departments there are at the company, which is another thing. So like, one, I was like, yo man, I can come over here and I know that I'm going to like grow here as far as like an engineer, my position level where I'm at. Like promotions are always nice and stuff, but like I felt like I can grow there. But I also felt like my career, if I wanted to, it would be easy to pivot to another section.
Yeah, no, like if they're asking you what you want to do, then you gotta have that like McDonald's Happy Meal smile on your face. Yeah, that's how you know you're somewhere good.
Yeah, like especially like where I'm at, like I know there's front end stuff that I can do. Like yeah, I'm dealing with a lot of data ops things right now, which is wonderful. There's like foundation stuff that you can go work on. There's, as I said, like you could be a front end somewhere. And then recently, like, you know, all this AI stuff is going on. I guess our AI team gave a presentation to like the company who joined and stuff like that. So we even have like a department there, and like I'm sure they're working on whatever. And if you're interested in that, like you could find a way to get into there. So like, one, I can grow here. I get the experience here in the team that I'm on. But like, if you guys are also okay, especially if your team's in a good stable position. You guys are okay to push forward and move forward and go beyond to wherever you want to go, to grow wherever you want to go and what interests you. That is just amazing, in my opinion.
Well, exactly. That's the dream. That's the dream internship, you know, right there.
Yeah.
that's what you want.
So, how did it feel when you were finally like switching over? Like, Take us into like your mind and how you was feeling like through that whole like transition process.
Hmm. So because I was going back to the same place I was before, before, it wasn't so bad. Um, well, okay. In terms of like knowing the company culture and stuff like that, obviously, I didn't have to get used to that because I was already like a part of it before, so that was all fine. I think we talked about this earlier, where it was like like jumping onto the team with the project that's like going on. It's
Yeah.
it's just it's I guess it's more like an imposter syndrome kind of thing because again, it was about, oh, I am not the intern anymore. I am the new hire, and there's gonna be like a bit more expectations on me, and like they're very understanding that, like, okay, the technology I'm working with is a bit wacky, and there's like some more specific things you have to get used to, so you're not gonna be immediately like good at it, and they totally understand. But it's it's it can be a little bit intimidating because you're just like, I want to perform and all these other things, and they do expect more from you. There are a few more things. I guess it's more like company specific here. That's so I was
Hmm.
allude to it, for now. But like, um, I have there's a few more things I definitely like have to do, like um like examine like mini examination type things and all and other stuff, just to make sure like I have some of these like base level skills where I'm keeping up with certain things, which is good. It's good pressure, but it is more pressure than just being at an internship, which is of course it's fine. It's what it should be. But getting used to it and just getting out of the imposter syndrome again. Oh, okay, that's one of the things. Yeah, getting out of the imposter syndrome again and remembering, yeah, it's okay to ask these questions. It's okay to like contact people out of the blue, see if they can help you, or like oh, I'm not used to this, or what does this mean, or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay to treat your teammates like teammates. is
Yeah.
is what I have to remember to do. But it's not too bad. I think the imposter syndrome is really the only is the real like hard hitter of it all.
I I don't know how I would feel. Like you were talking about, like ask your teammates questions and things. I don't know
Hmm.
how I would feel if I didn't have like supportive teammates or like a manager or stuff or somebody who
Ooh.
I couldn't go to for questions and things. Like I feel like that would be like the biggest place to like fail in, especially because I always talk about how there's nobody on that team that knows 100% of what the fuck is going on in a company or on their team even. Like there's no one who knows it 100%. Like
Yes, yes.
you, half the time you look at stuff and you're like, what is this? Or and things like that. Like I I would be going through it. Like if I ended up in a situation like that, I wouldn't stay there very long and stuff because I wouldn't be able to like grow any way or things like though occasionally you may run into a person who kind of does act certain ways like that, but like at least with like my like immediate team and stuff like that, and like a lot 95% of the people that at least I've met in like my company and stuff are like wonderful and very like good people who you're like very comfortable with to like reach and ask out questions and actually talk to. That
I
in
feel
my
like
experience.
I feel like if you go to like an established company, like it doesn't have to be a huge one, but like one that's just like been around for a little bit, few years or something like that, at the very least, like not just immediately new. then you're gonna get like, a more like normal culture, and I think that's what you would probably want from an internship. That way you get like used to like what normal corporate stuff is like. Because
Yes.
I would wager that your environment and mine probably are not that different, to be honest. Like it's it's
Yeah.
the normal fanfare. Like things are good. It's exactly what you just described. Um, everyone's welcoming, that everyone knows everything, we rely on each other. I think the only times you're gonna get something that isn't gonna be like that is like maybe if you're playing Russian roulette with a startup.
Yeah.
I think that's where you're gonna really be like, am I really getting a good experience or not?
Yeah. I know a lot of places are the same because like I forget what positions my mom has all been in and stuff because like she's tried a
Hmm.
few stuff also,
Oh.
but um like I talk to her occasionally, like they're my parents and stuff. I talk to them about how like my job goes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and like my mom works at a bank too.
Oh.
But and but like when I tell her things, she just be like, "Welcome to the corporate world now," and it's just like, yeah, I guess so. Like
Darn.
this is what it's like and things, and it's so different than like pretty much anything I've ever like been through and like had to work with and stuff like that. Um, take a lot more stuff a lot more seriously now that I have a full time
Hmm.
role and things. But yeah, I kind of wanted to go back to my experience as far as a transition because
Uh-huh.
there was some things that I haven't really told anybody and stuff. I believe my transition went pretty smooth. I would
Hmm.
say pretty smooth,
Hmm.
pretty easy, um, very comfortable and stuff. I had a month off from my internship before I came in, so I had a good amount of time to just relax and not really worry about anything. Nope, that was in December, so not much was going on anyways. So if it just felt like a good time, it was also a good time to transition and stuff. But
Hmm.
prior to that, I had several mentors for different stuff. When I
Hmm.
first joined, I had somebody on the team mentor me and like kind of like just talk to me about stuff. She was a very nice woman and things like that. Very cool. But then the company offered an internship program as well. Not internship, mentorship program as well, where they
Oh.
just matched you with somebody else in the company and things. And it's
Oh,
like kind
okay.
of random and
Hmm.
things. So this guy wasn't a software engineer or any engineering department. He does something else for the company that's very important and stuff. But not only did he like look like me as far as like being another black guy and stuff, and it was just very coincidental and
Hmm.
things. Like I think by like our second meeting, it was like wonderful, and he he's given me so much like great advice as far as like how to deal with stuff when it comes to resumes, what to ask your managers. Because he's one of a manager, like he manages people too on his team and stuff, and like asked like questions like more recently we and him had like a meeting about like because I was like I just want to like be able to do more, I want to be able to grow and stuff, I want to make sure I'm good and things, and he like was saying like how if he's a manager that yes like my manager gives me a lot of praise on things that I do and stuff, but he also tells you like what are some things that you can possibly work on and things to help you move forward and do things like that, and very open with it and stuff. Right now I'm just in a position where I have to like just learn as much as possible still because I haven't like gotten to that senior status where you already know what's mainly going on, but now these are like nitpicking things that can also make you better because someone everybody is missing something, of course, and things. But like he having a mentor and being able to have a mentor through a company too has been a big help transitioning and stuff, and like talking with them and stuff. I don't know if your company ever had that and things, but like
Yes,
it's been
actually.
great.
So in they do this. I have a I had one in my internship, and I have one now as well. The one I have now is a bit more it's I want to say not as involved, but I don't know if it was just because the one in my internship just wanted to be very involved, because I met with him every week, and I talked with him every now and then. Because he was amazing. He was amazing about like answering questions I didn't really want to ask anybody else, because I felt like they were too stupid or too like weird or like specific or like weird off questions. I'm like, would it be like troublesome to ask this to like my manager, like type questions, you know what I mean? Like, and then but he was just there to answer them, and I was like, oh my god, that's like so nice. It was like, I remember we were connecting over the fact that it's like you I forgot what school he went to in Wilmington, but the high school I didn't go to was the high school I went to wasn't exactly like all prim and proper, and it was just funny connecting over something like that. And it was just nice because it was a good way to feel more comfortable in the the company culture, and it's like just getting used to everything, especially when you're intern and like like snot-nosed intern, don't know what you're doing, just want to feel like you're being like useful. Oh my god, he would always hammer down that it's like if you're not feeling like you're being given enough like work or being like respected or like other things like that, like you gotta tell me, and other, or like you feel like you're not being good enough or whatever. He's like, yeah, you gotta tell me, we gotta talk about it. I'm like, oh my, it's just nice. It's just nice. So it's good to hear that you had a similar experience.
I thought mine was gonna end after my internship. Like I met with my guy every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, and things, and we always try to make our schedules work so we can like talk and like set plans, and like he'll answer any dumb question and stuff, especially like when you're comfortable with that person. Like, yeah, this person's another person in the company and stuff, but like they're not in your team or nothing. They have nothing to do with you or anything like that, but just like being able to sit down with somebody who you're comfortable with and just talk, and like you're not even talking about work stuff all the time. You're just talking about other things and like life going on. It's like, it's very like nice. So
it is, and that's again, you want a culture like that, you know what I mean? I think one thing I want to mention again, just because I thought about it when you asked me, it's like, why did I pick like why did I think about this returning back to where I interned at, the thing is, the thing about Capital One, like, okay, I don't remember if I think I said this in like the other time you had me on here, but my background is mostly is really mostly like medicine, to be honest, and like all like that, like healthcare things. And honestly, I would have never seen myself working with like a bank. And honestly, that does to me, in my opinion, that doesn't matter as much as the culture was nice. The culture was something I liked. So and they like offered things that I could like bring myself to become passionate about, like give enough time. I think that's more important than, oh man, I gotta work for this company that they do computer science and medicine. It has to be this.
But they paid $200,000, so
I'll
give it up. I don't care about how stuff's going on. They pay so much money,
I need to talk about this. Oh my god! So one of my tech lead on my team, he was telling me where he interned at was like he didn't say the name. I think there was a reason he didn't say the name. He's trying to be nice about it. But he said the place he worked at, or he interned at, was this one of these like super like cutthroat places. It was funny because it started off as like he was telling me how something like they were like have they would drive people out to places, and like in like the bus, they would drive people out to places. They would have like $1,000 raffles, like just cause and things like that, and like give all crazy things, and their budget was insane.
Yeah.
And all these things. But the thing is that the culture was absurd. Apparently, like you would just have like managers just like screaming their butt off to like people like just regularly, and like if you're in a meeting, it's like it was not unusual for people to just wait for like the one slide that someone was like looking for and then leave immediately after, be like, oh yeah, this presentation is useless to me. Like they actually just say it apparently, and then just like leave. And I was like, this sounds like a joke, but like those places like definitely exist. And like the salary, you can imagine the salary was probably insane, but it's like, do you care about that more than the culture?
That is one of the reasons why like I didn't even apply, like even for internships, I didn't even apply to the FANG companies at all. Like,
oh my god, no.
Like, so I don't want to sit here and personally talk about like how I know how the engineering departments work in FANG companies and things.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and do that. I'm sure there's wonderful people that work there. They do pay good money. Yeah. And stuff like that. A lot of people wish to work for them and stuff, things like that. But there are also other things that you hear that, whether it's like how the interviewing is, how like the workload kind of is, and things like that. Like as you said, like the culture for the company and stuff like that. Like I don't know if I ever want to work for Elon Musk. Honestly.
Yeah. And it's like it's important what you said. Your asterisk. It's important to say it's like I'm sure lots of people have had good experiences, and like again we haven't like we haven't worked for them, but we liked what we found, and if we want to try it, we can try it after we work a little bit in what we like right now.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit more experience too and stuff like that, and then we can go to like the Google building and go on the basketball courts and the slides and all that,
Oh my god.
And their freaking crazy corporate buildings and stuff like that. Like
yeah, like because I actually would, my brother, he actually did one of the Google interviews. He didn't get accepted, unfortunately. I was thinking about doing it too, but then I actually ended up liking Capital One so much that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stick with this. And I can try applying like some other time if I want to, because I would be interested actually in applying with them. I think it would be interesting. And also obviously it looks good on a resume, but I'm more so in it for like, I would like to know what the culture might be like, and what all of these things are, because you see videos of people talking about these things, but it's like, how do you know until you're actually there, seat, right?
Like, yeah, I know. What company was it? It's a company in San Francisco or LA. I know they're in Cali. I know they're in California. It's one of the big FANG companies. Which one is it?
Well,
is it Microsoft? I don't know. I don't remember what the company was, but I know the company had bus shuttles for people to get to work.
That's Google.
Is it Google?
Yeah, you're thinking of Google.
I seen somebody who worked for them, and they said that they have bus shuttles for their employees that have Wi-Fi. They serve 2 meals a day there.
That's Google. Google.
Breakfast and whatever. They serve 2 meals. So, and like you're not done till like 5 or 6 or something, and then you have a shuttle back and stuff with Wi-Fi, mind you. So
yeah,
I believe he was trying to say that no matter what, they want to keep you in the office from like going out and getting food and stuff like that, and even when you're on your commutes. Even when you're on your commutes and stuff, you have Wi-Fi. Yes. So you end up working, because we're salary, remember? So the amount of hours you work, does not matter. You're still getting paid your salary and stuff. They're like, no matter what, you'll be working longer for them, typically more than like that day, because you're probably going to be on your computer when you're on your commute and stuff. You're probably going to be on your computer while you're eating their food and stuff. Even if you're taking like a small break, you're still right there. You're always in the building. You're always at work, and like that work is like, yeah, your home and stuff. And they did do that intentionally so that you would want to stay there and things. And I remember seeing a video about that and stuff, and I was like, that is actually crazy when you think about it. Like,
that would be so effective against me.
It is effective.
Like me specifically, you're telling me so powerful.
Yo, one of the best things is for me is food. You're telling me you're gonna give me free food. I don't have to ever buy breakfast or lunch unless it's like on the weekend or something like that. And like you pay for my transportation too, so I don't have to pay for parking or find a spot. I mean, or drive to work and things. You might have me a little sold, but looking at it the same way, you're like, okay, you might want to make me work 10 hours a day, easy, maybe more than that, you know. But yeah, I get what you're trying to do. I can see how it's effective. I can really see how it's really effective.
Yeah, the one thing though is that you probably they probably will like hire people who are like into that type of thing anyway though, because like think of like like ML heads, right? You know what I mean? Yes. Like you get to work with Google. I mean like what else is there like to say? You know what I mean? I mean so a lot of people are like okay with that, but if you have a specific work-life balance you're looking for, then maybe that's not for you. That goes back to company culture too, right?
Yeah.
It's like you truly have to be honest with it with yourself with what you want. If you want to do something like that, then like work really long hours. Like let's say we want to work at a startup and you just want to work like long hours, be part of something like growing and big and like really see it like come alive. That's fine. I mean, like do what you want, but you have to be honest with yourself.
Yes,
you have to use your internship to like really figure out. It's like, is this what I want to do later when I actually get a salaried job? If it is, fine. If not, then
and just think about your days and stuff. It's more than just completing projects and stuff on like whether you're internship or work. It's more than just coming to work and doing your work and things like that. Like it's so much more than that, at least in the company like that I've been in, and I'm sure where Brennan's at now too and stuff. But and also take what we say with a grain of salt. We're not saying don't go ahead and work for FANG or Google and stuff. Like if that's your vibe, go ahead and vibe out to it. See what you like, do what you want, and everything. These are just preferences for us. So
yeah, we just know what we like.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Speaking about preferences, which would you prefer to be, an intern or a full-time engineer employee?
Well, okay. I mean, probably full time, just because I have, I can actually like get promotions and other things. But
all right, well, let's say this,
saying, right?
Without like, if we take the salary out of it, and like how much you're making and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which would you prefer?
see, I figured you weren't talking about that.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I think like something I said a little bit earlier was like the pressure feels different. I mean, it's the pressure of like having to like meet like a certain standard is not really. Well, you shouldn't really feel it as much when you're an intern. I mean, you really shouldn't. I mean, you're there to learn. So, oh my god, I remember when I was an intern. At a certain point, when I was talking with my mentor, I just started realizing, like, you know what? Maybe I should start throwing stuff at the fan in me. and like not like trolling, of course,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
but like you know like, oh, here's an idea I saw of a thing that I might tangentially know. What if we did like that and stuff like that? And you know, they didn't really like get anywhere, but I think they appreciated it. I think they did. I mean, I have the job now, but so maybe, but it's like that is a uniquely nice pressure, and honestly, you should be like that anyway for when you're like salaried, but it is really nice to not have that like artificial like enhanced imposter syndrome for when you're actually like a full-time employee, because you feel much, I don't know, this is maybe it's just me, but it's like I feel like more pressure to like really meet
Yes.
the status quo, I guess. That's probably the
Yeah.
word.
Yes. Yeah. You also, I also feel like when I was an intern, it's way easier to try out something that's different and like skip to another team. Where like
Oh,
now being a full
yeah.
time engineer, at times like yo, if I really want to like do some front end development and stuff or work with some
Mhm.
AI. Like I, that just reminded me of something else. I'll get to in a second, but like when you're on a team, especially the team that you really enjoy, like the team that I'm on, like the people on it and stuff is great. So like if I was like, yo, let me try something else, I was like, dang, I really like this team though. And stuff like that. And it's one of those things like now I have to jump over here. If I jump over here, I feel like I'm betraying them and all my people who I was cool with. But now I'm in a whole new group and room of people who I have no clue who they are. I don't know how it's gonna go and things like that and resetting. But that had reminded me about when you know how like people say like a typical lifespan of an engineer at a company is like 2 years, and then they jump around and just make a shit ton more money somewhere else, and then they keep doing that, and that's how like they get their money up and stuff.
That's like the
Um,
modern engineer, yeah.
yeah, like how that's the modern engineer and stuff. I wonder how like that works or how they feel regarding that. Like I really am curious to how that all like how it affects them personally and stuff like that. Like I haven't jumped around uh like that, and I
Uh,
haven't even been in a position to do that, but I do know like engineers who do switch companies and stuff, so maybe.
I have some insight. I have a little bit of like someone related insight, I'll say. Um, well, okay, I'll say this. Like if you're just switching between teams in your like inside your company, probably not a big deal. I mean, unless you're like leaving for like a reason of like you didn't like the team culture. I mean, like they don't have to know that
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
but the thing is, like in Capital One, they like make us rotate. Um, when we're like a new hire, which is a good thing, and like it's honestly it's largely encouraged.
Mm.
We're like where I am. Well, I mean, obviously, like you shouldn't be like working for like only like 6 months and then like switch team.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you like obviously you should stay a little bit longer. But like they encourage you like to try like learn things, try things, whatever, whatnot. Um, but in terms of leaving the company for like other things, it's what you said. It's like that's what that's just what software engineers like do, or like tech people do nowadays. So I think it's like a unspoken understanding between all engineers, first of all. So like you might think it looks bad, but I think everybody understands that's just what people do nowadays.
Yeah.
And so my father, he's a manager. He's a manager at engineer. He's not in like tech. He's like in like power engineer, almost like electrical engineering almost.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want to think about it like that. Although power is more like gas or whatever, you get the point. But he's not like computer science, but point is he's a manager, and when he talks about like his people leaving, it's not in like disdain, it's in like, oh man, what do I need to do? You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
like keep these people. He would talk to me sometimes about that all the time, like to get like a whippersnapper view on the on the matter. But you know, it's not ill will. It's more like, yeah, there must be something wrong with this, with our approach. We gotta do something. And I mean, you could argue that maybe he's just a good manager, but
Yeah.
you know, maybe he's just good, like to actually like
To
be looking
retain those
within.
people and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I hope is like what most managers would be thinking. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope. I don't know, like I mean, and you know, like that's something I've thought about. I've always, I think about that like every now and then. Like, am I gonna end up doing that? I know my brother thought about doing that until they gave him a raise. But you know, but you know, like he's seen teammates like leave too, and you know, it's just like, and he gets it. So again, unspoken rule. You know,
Yeah. I
it
feel
just
like
depends.
if
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're growing enough within the company, you're more inclined to stay versus
Oh
if you're
yeah.
somewhere like, you know what I think it is actually why it's so
Mm-hmm.
unspoken? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's because a lot of these people go to these FANG companies, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
so competitive that actually it's way easier for you to get a raise to leave that company, go somewhere else, make more money, then come back and make more money as a hire again, then stay there and compete against everybody and then make more money and get the raises that way.
Well, FANG is kind of unique because that's kind of like what people want to do anyway. Because
Yeah,
they do it, the work there, they put it on their resume and get like some
to work
crazy
other
vocal bucks
ways.
somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The get crazy salary somewhere else because now like you have the funny Google word on your on your resume. So it's like now you're a shoe in for something nice. Another company that you probably is gonna stay with longer. You know, like
Uh, I,
FANG company is always be cycling people out.
I would say that depends because
Okay, yeah, right.
I
Fair.
also feel if you are that person who comes over and you're making the most because yeah, you're working at Fang all this time, you made all this damn money from them, and now you're coming over here and we can't support that because say the company goes through something, they're looking at you and you're their most expensive thing, so it's hard to stay
Ooh,
comfortable at that point
ooh. Yeah,
because
you
now
better
you're the
be
most
making your worth.
yeah, because now you're the most expensive like person there and stuff because they don't typically give out those kind of wages like that and it's a lot harder for them to like maintain it, which is understandable at that point, but I've
Well,
always had that fear.
I think of it less of like it. So I think it's almost that actually. I think it would probably be more like you're not just because you're the most expensive thing, but you're probably being brought on for a specialized thing that might not pan out, and then you might be let go. And
Yeah,
like the fact that
I
your project and your salary is like expensive is probably, you know, like a big thing. They might let you
I also
go.
feel like you're putting yourself in a box. Like once when you work in a fan company, you have to kind of stay around those companies that are in that same range, as far as like company size and things like that too.
Unless you
So
just want to take a pay cut. I mean,
yeah, which is another possibility. How many people are willing to do that? Unless it's like somewhere you
no.
really love and whatever and stuff. I feel like it would be hard making $300,000 and then going down to two.
Oh my god. See, that's a spooky thing of like, oh man, if I have toyed around with the idea of doing my PhD, and like if I want to like actually like teach later, but if I were to do that, I'd be getting quite the pay cut.
Yeah.
But that's a bit more off topic than
I mean,
like interning. But
side note, we actually have a teacher who is data software engineer who also teaches. So
oh, that's true. Yes.
I mean, it is still possible. We know him himself. We know himself. Very great teacher.
I mean, but you need like a good company with like really
Yeah.
gives you the time of the day to like do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You gotta have a company that really values work-life culture, work-life balance rather.
And teach at a school that's quite close to your job.
Oh my god, that too. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta be kidding me. Think I'm like driving back and forth like in one weekday.
Yeah.
To teach for a night class when everyone's asleep. I'm just saying. I might have been one of those people with Z's above their head, but you know.
Oh gosh. All right. So we're on like the final two things, really. One,
I got you.
we kind of already went through like the pros and cons of internships and like full-time jobs, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
Yeah.
is there any other like pros and cons do you feel like between for each one? Would you?
Oh, let me think. Honestly, not to me. Really the only big thing is like how much pressure you feel, and then like the fact that you're in a full-time position, you can get promoted to higher, more specific things, which is always well and nice. But other than that, I mean, I don't think it's too different unless you're just working at two different companies, which is just that's a different conversation entirely.
Which
you know
people
what I mean?
have done.
Which is that's what my brother did. He interned at Hologic and Siemens. They're both healthcare. They're both like no. What are they? Health machinery companies, I think, something like that. And then he works now with like M&T, so it's like complete. It's a bank, so he went through the whole ringer.
That's a whole nother rabbit hole that I can like actually get into. Also, kind of don't have the time to go through all of that right now because that's a whole nother discussion that can be done at a later date. But I think to like summarize the pros or cons or just pros of internship. So to start off, pro, more freedom as far as what you're learning, stuff that you're getting done, and like the amount that you can like absorb and take in probably, especially at the rate that you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Con, you may not get a job back. You do that, but another pro, you're getting experience for it, which looks good on resume. But the real con is like you can go through all that time in the internship and not get an offer return back and things. But I think like if you follow what me and Brennan has said, that most likely you could get your return offers and things like that.
Yeah.
I do know people who don't get return offers and things, and I've seen people not get offers for different parts, but who knows? Who really knows? I feel like it's just really how you're positioned and stuff. But now for pros and cons as far as being a full-time, summarizing, once again, pro, ability to move up, salary is a lot better. You, instead of having more freedom probably to move around and try more things, you do have the ability to have your hands on more technologies within the team and like touch more stuff. So, but at the same time, con, like more pressure, responsibility, your work time and balance is gonna it could be hard to manage and try to figure out what works best, whether for your team or what needs to get done or for yourself. And yeah, so for the last thing, would you go any other route besides just interning and going straight to Capital One? Like,
Ooh. So, do you mean like going to a different company, or do you mean this like other
I
um
mean,
other like track in general? Because I can answer both.
I really mean like both in a sense.
Okay.
Like, would you go to another company, and then also like, would you do to be able to get to where you are now? Would you do any other way besides like doing an internship or something like that kind of stuff?
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So, okay, I can touch on this. Yeah. So again, like I came from med. I switched into CS late. I didn't have as much like years to like try and get an internship. Like I really kind of got lucky. The fact that I even got one, I don't even know. I don't even know how they I don't know how
I
they
don't know
accepted me.
how either.
I know, but freaking I was gonna say there are other ways, to like get your experience in, without specifically getting interested or like getting a feel of like culture. I mean, you there are like job shadowing, going to job fairs. You can usually find like opportunities for things like that. To like get like a taste of things. But if you just want to experience like working on a project that is like isn't obviously like a self like anyone can do like a self project. I mean that's one thing, but that doesn't really tell you what work is like. That's why actually I was I did a lot of research because I wanted something because I really didn't think I was going to get an internship. So that was like my quote unquote internship. And I mean, not every university is going to be the same, but I mean, if you ask around, I'm sure you can find something where you're like working with like a cool team of people to like try and work on things and stuff like that because that's more important, is that the fact that like you can learn how to like work with a team and stuff like that, because cultures will be different, but the like learning to work with a team you know regularly is that's like a skill that's always going to be important, and it's going to transfer for like everything. So like that's one of the ways you can like try and like do something and then get into like a full-time position. um and I can also talk about like not like do I can talk about doing the internship and then not going into full time, because I consider that. I can go into that unless you had something to like talk about what I just said.
I mean, it's all up to you and stuff.
Yeah, I can touch on it briefly because I was like considering going into like just straight up doing my master's after the internship,
Yeah,
just because I really kind of was like in the thick of like school and I really want to do my master's and want to see if I want to do a PhD later. But I just thought it would be a better financial decision mostly. This is like actually just like to start working, and again with my company I get the like it's like what you said about like being able to like put your hand on a bunch of new technologies and like like be for different teams,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then that influences what you want to focus on later in life. So I figured that's smarter than just going straight for the masters. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
You might end up,
learn a little bit.
yeah, you might
Yeah.
end up choosing something that you won't have as much interest in once when you get through it. I don't know
Yeah.
and stuff because you haven't touched it yet. So, which is also a good thing to try as many things as possible. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm really trying to think. Like, I know for myself, I would not change going through an internship. Like, I personally felt like I needed that experience
Oh
and
yeah.
things. It's very humbling. It's very
Hmm.
knowledgeable and stuff like that, and fair, I believe. Uh,
I
right
agree.
now, right
Hmm.
now, I can 100% say I have no regrets sticking to the same company and stuff. I have like none whatsoever. Um, but at the same time, if say that last semester, if I spent more time interviewing and applying and actually like end up going somewhere else, if it was as good as where I'm at now and things, as far as like all across the board, I wouldn't mind it. I don't think I would
Mhm.
mind it at all. But I have no regrets as far as going another route and things. I don't really plan on going back to school. I plan on like learning the technologies that I'm messing with and what can help me grow. Especially more recently, stuff like Snowflake and AWS is going to be helping me. So I'll be doing that like more privately on my private time. And my work life balance is one, have me able to like do this podcast and like try a bunch of other stuff and
Mhm.
work on other things and stuff like that. So I really like where I am right now and how it's all going. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, and I think that's completely fair. I think it's honestly kind of like the best route is really just internship into work,
Yeah,
and then decide what you want to do after. It's just it's really irreplaceable to be honest. Um, being able to really just be in the thick of it, and then getting the chance to just like learn to like work with these like technologies for like a bit of time. It's just important. It really shapes. It really makes you realize what you do and don't like, which is just important, you know. Because at the end of the day, you want to push yourself in a direction where like where you can just finally be comfortable with what you're doing, like for like a while. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You you want to find the calling. So it's like you know like it, you should do the you should do the path that well frankly like exposes you to those things. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I can definitely get that feeling and stuff. I believe it's very helpful too. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Man, we've been talking for a minute. I just looking at how long it's been. It's been so long. To wrap it up, is there any like last things that you wanted to add and stuff, or
uh. Okay. Yeah. One last thing. Um. I guess is just don't if you don't get a return offer, you know, not the end of the universe. It's perfect fine. Like you don't want to be annoying about it. Like it's okay to mention it. It really is okay to mention it.
yes,
It shows you have initiative in the same way that like Trey was like going around being active, talking to a lot of people in like his company. But you know, the like don't be upset if like it doesn't happen. Like there's you you'll find a way. You'll
it
find an
is.
offer later on. It's just nice to get it, but you know, if
It is
not,
so
whatever.
hard to find these opportunities, but there are so many.
Mm.
So
If you look hard enough, you'll find something. Like truly. If you put your work in and you put your honest work in, you know what I mean. Um, yeah, at the end of the day, you can at least come out with recommendations, which is always or like a point of contact. It's always extremely useful. So, you know, it's like no time wasted. You learned a lot too, you know. So just keep moving forward, you know. You'll figure it out.
and all
Life
right,
finds a way.
thank you, thank you. It's always a pleasure having you, man. Like these talks are
Thank you
very
for having me.
insightful of your time, man. Talks are very insightful. So everybody, once again, this is my friend Brennan and stuff. So thank you for coming on and stuff, and we'll be out. And that's a wrap for the interview and stuff. I want to say thank you so much to my good friend Brennan once again. We always seem to get lost when we seem to talk and go on and on about these topics. It's wonderful having them on and just bouncing these ideas and our experiences off of each other. And as I said, this is a long one. Me and him sat here and talked for a little bit over an hour. So I just want to say, like, if you stuck through the whole hour and stuff, I really appreciate you guys. You don't understand how much it means to me. But also let me know how you guys felt about stuff. Let me know how it's going for you if you were ever intern somewhere and trying to get a full-time role, or how you're going about dealing with those kinds of struggles and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments. Even if you have any extra questions and things, let me know. Feel free to answer everything. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, man. I appreciate everything. And so far, everybody who's joined the community and stuff. And as we continue to grow, I'm here to try to make stuff better and keep going from there too. So thank you guys. Hope you guys all have a good one and be safe. And that's it. Peace.